Hello and welcome to this new video. In the previous videos, we integrated Steam stats and achievements into the game. In this video, we will integrate the final part of player progression. We will integrate Steam leaderboards into the game. Just like achievements, the Steam plugin implements the leaderboard interface from Unreal Engine, but this implementation is incomplete. If you want to use the current integration, you will be limited in terms of control over the leaderboards in the game. In this video, I want to show you how to integrate the Steam leaderboards via the Steam Web API, giving you full control over the leaderboards in the game. It's important to note that Steam leaderboards are not linked to a stat. Unlike EOS, which links the leaderboard to a stat and ranks players based on the score of that stat, in Steam, a leaderboard is an object independent of stats. It is up to your game to write a player's score to a leaderboard, and Steam will automatically rank these players based on the scores provided for each player. To get started, go to your Steamworks application to create a leaderboard. You can read the Steam documentation to fully understand the functionality and properties of a Steam leaderboard. I want to create a leaderboard representing the number of jumps made by players. It will be a table that ranks players based on their number of jumps. The community name is the name that will be displayed on the player's Steam community profiles. The sort method is the ranking method. Ascending means that the highest score will have the highest rank, while descending means that the highest score will have the lowest rank. I set it to ascending. We will change it later to show you the difference. The score for this leaderboard is numerical. Since we are using the Web API, the right should be set to Trusted Server, so clients cannot modify this leaderboard. For the read, we can leave it as false since the Web API can always read the leaderboards. The same goes for the lobby. The Web API can read everything. The same goes for the range around user. The Web API can read all ranges, so setting a range doesn't limit the Web API. The same goes for the top N. Click on Create, then publish the change. There you go, we now have an empty leaderboard. We can click on View Scores to display the entries. For now, we won't see anything since no player has updated the leaderboard yet. To start the integration, we will go to the Leaderboards widget to replace the current implementation. We will see how to use the API to integrate the leaderboard filtering functionality. Delete the implementation. You can find under Easy OSS Leaderboard Steam all the Web API tasks that you can use to integrate Steam leaderboards into your game. The Delete Steam Leaderboard task is used to delete an existing leaderboard by its name. The Find or Create Steam Leaderboard task is used to find or create a leaderboard. If the inputs below the leaderboard name are not provided, the task searches for the leaderboard and returns it as output. If the inputs are provided, the task creates a leaderboard. It is useful to use if you want to search for a leaderboard and create it if it doesn't exist. I don't want to use it in this video. The goal is to keep it in mind in case it's needed. A leaderboard is represented by a structure containing the leaderboard's information, such as its name, ID, number of entries, and other properties. The Get Steam Leaderboards task is used to find and return all the leaderboards of the game, so a list of leaderboard structures. The Get Steam Leaderboard Entries task is used to find the entries of a specific leaderboard, in other words, the scores and ranks of the players. This task allows you to customize the output entries. For example, you can get the range around the user, the friends entries, and the global entries. We will see later how to use it. A leaderboard entry is a structure containing the leaderboard ID, the number of entries, and the list of user entries. A user entry is a structure containing the Steam user ID, the player score, and his rank in the leaderboard. What I want to display in this widget are two tables, one table containing the game leaderboards, and another table containing the user entries of a leaderboard. To keep things simple, I will work in this widget with just one leaderboard, which is the jumper leaderboard we created. The Reset Steam Leaderboard task is used to delete all the entries of a leaderboard. The Set Steam Leaderboard Score task is used to write to a leaderboard, allowing you to update the player scores in the leaderboard. In the designer, I will keep the customization buttons for the table. I want to remove the Right Player Leaderboard button and instead, implement the logic for updating a leaderboard in the Master Player controller. Because for Steam, we need to update the leaderboard once the player stat is updated. I will rename the button Current Rank. This button should display the global entries of a leaderboard. I will rename the button from Top 10 to Around User. I will add a button that serves to reset the leaderboard. I will add a button that serves to delete the leaderboard. Add the onClicked event for the reset button. Call the Reset Steam Leaderboard task. We need to get the Web API key and the app ID from the game instance. We need the leaderboard ID in order to reset it, so I want to create a variable representing this ID. This variable will be updated when the leaderboard is obtained. Display an error message if the call fails. We will do the same for the delete button. Call the Delete Steam Leaderboard task, then connect the inputs. This task takes the leaderboard name, not the leaderboard ID. Display an error message if the call fails. Add the on-clicked event for the global button. Call the Get Steam Leaderboard Entries task. Add the on-clicked event for the Friends button. I need to use the Get Steam Leaderboard Entries task instead of Get Steam Leaderboards. We need to select the Request Global here. The Steam user ID is optional. We use it in case of a range around user or friends request. I want to move the implementation into a custom event. I want to duplicate the implementation for the friends request. Change the request type so that it is for friends. For the global request, we don't need to pass a Steam user ID. Duplicate the implementation for the range around user requests. Change the request type so that it is around user. Define a range around the user. The Web API can read all ranges, so the value defined in Steamworks has no effect. Loop through the entries to add the items to the table. According to the structure of an entry, we need to change the table columns as well as the item widget. Go to the item widget to fix it. Rename the texts. Go to the Update Content function to update the text. We will pass the entry structure as a parameter to this widget. Pass the player name and the leaderboard ID as parameters to this widget. Now, for each query, add the items to the scroll box of the table. To get the player name, I will pass the target users to this widget. Note that the target users are the friends of the local player, so in the case of a non-friend player, I will pass the player ID to keep things simple. Do the same for the other queries. Don't forget to add the items to the scroll box. In this video, I don't want to display the game leaderboards in the designer. You can display it if you want. This will be done in the construct event. We can use the structure of the game leaderboard to create the table. As mentioned, I am working in this widget only on the leaderboard I created. For this, I will take the first leaderboard returned. We need to set the leaderboard name to delete and its ID for the reset. Connect each custom event to the associated button. I will implement the logic for updating a user entry in the master player controller. The implementation for unlocking achievements is already done via the Steam Stat interface. So, I can delete the implementation for EOS. Add a function in the interface that serves to write a leaderboard entry. Call the Set Steam Leaderboard Score task. The implementation should be done in a custom event that runs on the client. The set should be done for the local player, since he is not allowed to modify the entries of other players. Note that the Web API allows this to be done. Go to the character blueprint. We need to update the entry in the jumper leaderboard once the jump stat is updated. I need the leaderboard ID. I will get it in the event begin play after obtaining the stats. I forgot to connect the set task. In order to get the top n via the global request, I need to define a range of 0n. I also need to provide a range for the friend's request. Same for the around user request. Launch the game to test. The player currently has 24 jumps. In the leaderboard section, nothing is visible since this leaderboard has not been updated by any player yet. Same for the second player. Start a player-hosted match and perform jumps to update the stat and the leaderboard. Refresh your Steamworks page, you should see a new entry. There you go, player 1 has a score of 26 jumps, and he is ranked first. Try to display the global entries of the leaderboard. For now, nothing is showing because we need to wait for Steam to update the web API. However, we can clearly see the entries for the player and friends. And also for the around user. In the meantime, repeat the test on player 2's side. Refresh the Steam page, you should see the second entry. There you go, player 2 has a score of 14, and he is ranked first because the leaderboard sort method is ascending. After waiting a few minutes, I now have the correct results in my game, and all the queries are working well. Change the sort method to descending and see what will happen. And there you go, after a few minutes of waiting, I have player 1 ranked first and player 2 ranked second. Try clicking on Reset, then go to your Steam page to check. The API always needs time to update following the reset. There you go, the entries have been successfully deleted. After a few minutes, I have 0 entries. Click on Delete and check the deletion on Steam. There you go, the leaderboard has been successfully deleted. That's all for this video, see you in the next one.